This video is brought to you by the FARMER-KLEIN YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Kuusela. This map can be found over at kingmods.net and there will be a download link in the description below. This is a Finnish map, so this is a European forestry map. Let's read a little bit of the description. It says forest and agriculture map. Also, gravel pit and some sand and dirt has been added that you can dig. I recommend using the More Trees mod, and this is FinFarmingSim's first map ever. I have to say, it's a pretty good endeavor for being your first map ever. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Now we are loading this map up in new farmer mode, but I really suggest you use Farm Manager to start your gameplay on this map because of the fact that regardless of what mode you start in, you don't own any land and you don't own any equipment. So Farm Manager will give you the most money to get started here on this map. Now there is one little warning. Now we've talked about this in some previous map videos. This is farmland IDs not set for all pixel in farmland info layer. There could be just one little pixel on the farmland info layer that isn't assigned a farmland ID, and it would toss this warning. It is nothing really to be overly concerned about. And here we go. We landed on into the map. You can already see PDA over there on the side. We start here at the shop. Like I said, in all play modes, you have nothing. There is no starting equipment. There's no land. There's no farm on this map. This is an exclusive forestry map. There are some fields, but if you want to do a farm, you're going to have to kind of either clear the land or pick a clearing to build your farm in. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. You see this has 10 predefined fields, but the bulk of the map is 100% forestry. These light areas are cleared areas that are mostly cleared trees, but everything else on this map is 100% forestry. If we take a look at the lands, you'll see we do not own anything at the start. We can buy the shop area and the sell point area here, as well as some of the road network for $14,114. Land is cheap here in the map. So we also have some more forestry plots, somewhere between, $50,000 and $140,000 on average. We've got some field plots that you can buy. The most expensive plot appears to be around $270,000. Now, if we take a look here at the crops available, we are missing cotton. Cotton is not listed here. So if you do want to do agriculture here on this map, you won't be able to grow cotton. That is the only crop that is missing. Let's go ahead and take a look at our crop calendar. We are using the default generic crop counter that is provided with Farming Simulator 22. We take a look here at our prices screen. We're going to run through and see if we have all of the base game crops and production areas covered as far as sell points. That is one of the review criteria that we are using for Farming Simulator 22 maps. We do have sell point for wheat, barley, oats, canola, sorghum, grapes, olives, sunflowers, soybeans, corn, potatoes, sugar beets. We do not have a way to sell cut sugar beets, but there isn't a BGA on the map, so if you put a BGA down, then that will have that covered. There is no cotton on the map, so I would not expect there to be a cotton sell point. Sugarcane does not have a sell point. Sugarcane is enabled on the map, so we're going to lose a little bit of points there. Eggs, wool, milk, wood chips, silage we are missing. Again, because of the fact that we don't have a biogas plant, we also don't have a place to sell any of our grass, hay, or straw. So overall, we are missing cut sugar beets, sugarcane, silage, hay, straw, and grass. We then have sell points for all of our production, which is good to see. So overall, I'm going to give this map a 0.5 with respect to, does it include sell points for all base game crops? Not quite. All production? Yes. All animal outputs? Yes. So half a point is going to go towards that category. Now we also have on this map some interesting additional fill types. Now this says missing fill type, blah, blah, blah in L10N_EN XML. This is simply saying that there is a value missing in the language file for the English entry for all of these fill types. Now this says asphalt, coal, tailings, concrete, limestone, dirt, gravel, sand, iron, cement, and a bunch of others. The description explicitly called out sand, gravel, and dirt. You'll see those have buy points, so we can sell sand, gravel, and dirt that we dig out of pre-placed heaps on the map. None of these other areas seem to have any sort of sell point. I think these fill types maybe came over from something that the map author added, and he didn't really know how to get rid of all of them. But we are making use of gravel, sand, and dirt on this particular map. As I said, in all play modes, there is no equipment at the start. That's why I really suggest you start out in farm manager mode. We have no animals. There are contracts for the 10 fields that do exist on the map. We won't need to look at our starting equipment because, well, there isn't any. So at this point, I think we'll just do a little walking tour of the sell points because they are all up here in the same area. So we have our shop right here. We have a fuel point right here at the shop. So we can refuel our vehicles. Now I am looking and I do not see any sort of customized repair, trade, and sell trigger here at the shop. So I think you're going to be stuck selling your vehicles from the menus. We head down in this general direction. We're going to head to the sawmill where we can sell our logs and wood chips. The sawmill is also the only production element included on the map. So we have our drop point for logs here. We have our sell log trigger. We have our spawn point for planks, and we have our ability to buy the sawmill right there. And then we have the wood chip pickup point located right there. Take a look at our production screen. We do have the ability to make planks from logs, and we will produce wood chips. Now, as far as the selling points, that is going to be located right over there. But first, we do have an animal dealership located right here. So we do not have any animal pastures at this point, but should we put some down, we can buy animals. Watch out for that hole. That'll surely bust up an axle. And then our sell point for the map, if again we are doing any sort of agriculture, is going to be located right here. Now, another aspect of our rating system are all the triggers and player interactive areas clearly marked. And I'm going to have to deduct 1/4 of a point because this appears to be the sell point. As you see, there is a icon on the mini-map. There is an icon directly in front of us for the sell point. And if we tag it, it is right there. That is the sell point, but we do not have the dump icon that we have learned to recognize in FarmSim 22 as indicating where there is a dump station. So I would consider this trigger not clearly marked, so we're going to have to deduct 1/4 of a point. So with that, let's go ahead and, well, get set up for the fly around. We'll fly around the map and talk about our other review criteria and how it relates to this map. Now, I don't know how many trees we have on this map, but I can tell you there are a lot of trees. But let's go ahead and just do a little quick pan of the map. You can see some of the areas that have been cleared off. And you can see how far the map continues and all of the trees that cover the entire map. So as far as buildings where appropriate using the new texture technique and ground textures, yes, this map has all the buildings that have come over from either the French map or the Elm Creek map or Erlengrot, so they are all using the new texture technique. So the map gets a full point with that regard. There are no farms on this map. So I debated, do I give the map a 0 because there are no farms to customize, or do I give the map a pass, basically, and say, since there are no farms to customize, the farm is as customizable as it could be, and therefore it gets a full 1 point. And I have shied on the side of being gracious, and I've given the map a full point for can the farms be customized, because there is no farm, which means that you have ultimate freedom and control on building out your own farm. So full point on that regard. And then production built in or have areas set aside for the placement as such. I gave it a half point because other than the planks, there isn't any production built in. But I would say that all of these clearings, any of these clearings could be used to basically build out a farm or place your own production down here. You know, once you get into agriculture, and if you want to start making flour, you could put that down. And we do know that we have a place to sell our flour. So I gave the map a half point in that regard. Now that, let's just go ahead and just kind of fly around and take a look. We've got some nice varied terrain. It isn't really rough terrain. It's fairly easy sloping. The areas that are cleared off appear to be relatively flat. We've got some nice foliage down there on the forest floor. We've got a really nice kind of road that's been cut into the forest here with some tire tracks using the animal mud texture. Just overall, I think this map really does have a nice, very secluded feel to it. You know, when you're just experiencing this map, you really do feel like you're just out in the wilderness. And then every so often you come to a clearing, and then without too much effort, next thing you know, you're diving back into the wilderness through either a road that's been cut in like this, or just making your own path through the forest. Now, I want to come over here to this little plot of water, because one of the extra fill types that is available on the map can be found over here. So right down here, I believe this is going to be our dirt. I haven't tried digging this, but I believe that is going to be dirt. So you could come here with a telehandler, front loader, wheel loader, whatever loader with a bucket, and you could start scooping up this dirt, putting it in a trailer, and then taking it up to the sell point to make some little money. We also have some gravel located at another point here south of the map. A nice river kind of cutting through the map. We've got a bridge there, a couple bridges going over that. But man, there is a ton of trees. I really don't know how many trees we have here, but I have to tell you, this will definitely keep a forestry lover busy for quite a long time. And I think you could really make a long play of this because you can clear the land, you can make more fields, you could build a farm, and since we do have actual sell points, or a sell point for all your crops, and potentially for all other production elements, this has all the makings of a full-fledged map. You're just short a starting farm, and you really don't even need a starting farm. So down here we have a couple piles of gravel, and I think sand. So here we have what I think is the sand fill type. And then over here we have a gravel. So again, these are heaps that you can scoop up and then take to the sell point and sell for a little bit of profit. So overall, what do I give this map? I actually give this map a 3 3/4 out of 5. So 3.75 out of 5. And if the map actually had a clearly defined trigger at the crop sell point, this would have gotten a 4 out of 5. The only places that it's lacking is in the fact that it is missing a sell point for cut sugar beet, sugarcane, silage, hay, straw, and grass. I think you could have probably put a silage, hay, straw, and grass sell point at the animal dealer. You could allow sugarcane and cut sugar beets to be sold either at the animal dealer for cut sugar beets or at the other sell point. And then this map would have probably scored about as high as it could for a forestry map at 4.5 out of 5, because I wouldn't really expect a forestry map to have a whole ton of production built in, because the whole idea of forestry map is it's a map that's based in the wilderness where you don't have factories. So yeah, the map score is pretty darn high for the fact that it is what it is, and that is it's a wilderness map designed for the forestry lover with some clearings and some fields. So if you wanted to do a little bit of farming, you could. You've got plenty of places to build out a farm or put other placeables down should you so wish. So guys, let me know down in the comments, what do you think of this particular map? I have to say, I think this could become a favorite of many. The map runs fairly well. When I first loaded the map up, I had a little bit of stuttering up by the sell points, but that was short-lived. I think it was probably pulling in some textures that it didn't have cached in its texture cache. So until next time, happy farming.